All right, so tonight what we're going to do is we are going to start teaching you guys some skills about Microsoft Word. Now, today I noticed a lot of you struggled with this open a PDF in Word for editing. So I'm going to show you that, but I'm also going to make sure that you guys have seen these other things as well, even though that's not going to be actually part of this assignment. So first off, we need to create a blank document. So I'm going to go to here, and I have mine bookmarked over here on the side, but if you do not, then you'd scroll down to W for Word and open that up. Okay, so right there, that's a blank document. But if I had Word already open and it needed to, like, let's say it was like this and it didn't have a document open, I would have to go to File, New, and then I could go blank document. Okay, so I'm going to close that one now. And let's say I want to create a blank document using a template. So I'm going to go to File, New, and let's say I want to make a calendar. And maybe I want to do a snapshot calendar instead. So I'm going to use this one and create a template. Now I want it to start with this month. So I'm going to do April 2019. Click OK, and it show different dates. I can do all this stuff. Okay, just make sure you read all that. But for right now, just to do this, yeah, that's all we'd have to do. You can change the images to whatever you wanted. So we could just click on that and change it to whatever we wanted to do. Okay, so if we did not want the toucan or whatever, change it to something different. But that is creating a blank document using a template. Okay, there's a lot of different templates, resumes as you guys start applying for jobs, all that stuff. Okay, so make sure that you go into here and you start looking at all the different things that are available. Okay, there's also some suggested searches, or you can even search for some online templates. But that is where we'd start with a blank document using a template. Now, I'm going to close this one. Don't want to save that. Because the one I saw a lot of you struggling with on your benchmark test today was opening a PDF in Word for editing. So we're actually going to open up this document right here. Okay, so I'm going to go to File. And I already opened it earlier, but I'm going to go to Browse. I'm going to go to Desktop because that's where my folder is located. Going to open up my folder, Read Only, Word, and then Word 2016 Tested Skills. It's still opening because it takes a little bit longer. It's going to convert it to an editable Word document. We're not going to try to eat it. And we're going to click OK. So now, this is all the same information, but sometimes it squishes things together, such as professional looking in the Word documents here. So if I wanted that to look right, I would have to hit space. And actually, I would have to have a dash on the end of that because that's the way it looked in the other one. But sometimes it does that when it's editing these things, such as this section right in here. Notice how they're all kind of messed up. Now, we're not going to worry about editing those right now because we'll do that with tab stops later. But just to show you how you'd open it up in there. Okay, so that's that part. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the bottom of this, very bottom of the list. And right here at the end, we're going to hit Enter once. Okay. Now, we're going to insert text from a file or external source. So to do that, I go to Insert, and then right here is Object. So when I click on the drop-down menu here, it goes to Text from File. So we're going to go back to my folder here. So we're still in Kerna, Read Only, MS Word, but now we have this text, this Word document that says Microsoft Office Specialist Word Certification. We're going to click on that and click Insert. What it does is it just inserted all that text into there. Now, it cut it off through part of the hyperlink, or not hyperlink, the footer right here at the bottom. So it added it on to the next page. So if I wanted to move that to the next page, I could. So I could do what's called a page break there, and that would push it down to the next page. Another thing you can do, and I talked to you guys about this, is turn on this and you can see the formatting. So you can see with me putting the page break there, it pushed this down to the next page. Okay, so I do want you to put in a page break. So once again, to do that is I would click right in front of the thing, go to Layout, and under Page Setup, Breaks, and then Page Break, and that would push it down. And then I can actually turn this on to see if you did it correctly. And that's right here under the Show Hide. So it's off right now, and I can turn it on. Okay, so right there. Now, searching for text. This is something I will not be able to grade, but something you need to know how to do. Okay, so there's two ways you can do that. Under Home, you can go to Editing, Find, and then right here, it'll bring up this navigation pane. And let's say I search for the word Microsoft. It's going to show me and highlight every time the word Microsoft appears in the document as a piece of text. Now, it's not doing it in certain spots. Like it's not doing it right here. Now, why is that? Okay, what this is an image. This is actually not text, whereas this is actually text that I can select, I can type in. It's all just kind of individual text boxes. This is actually a big, just bunch of letters that were all inserted here to make it look all fancy. So I could delete certain letters, but I'm not going to because that's not part of this. But that's why it did not highlight Microsoft there. Okay, so another way I can bring up this navigation pane is just by going and pushing Control F on my keyboard. It'll bring up the navigation pane. Or I can go to View, Navigation pane, and click that on or off. And it'll bring this up. Okay, inserting hyperlinks. So we're going to scroll back up to the top of this document, and we're going to select Word 2016 right here. And we can go to Insert, or is it Links, and then Hyperlink. And we can take this to a different spot in the document, or I'm actually going to have it go to a website. So I'm going to go to www. And we're going to go to wvsd208.org because that's the district webpage. Okay, so that changes it to blue, which is going to look weird on this, but this is just about skills. It's not about appearances right now. So, and if you look, it says Control click to follow link. That would take us there. Okay. What else? So that's inserting a hyperlink. So we just did that. You can also have it hyperlink to another spot in the document. So let's say maybe this Microsoft Office Specialist part here. I want to hyperlink that to a place in the document. Now I want it to go down. Oh, I didn't create a heading down there, so we're not going to go there. All right, we're not going to do that part. We'll talk about that more later because we can have it linked to another location in the document. But that's when we start getting into headings, and I have this heading here, but it wasn't part of that other list. So don't worry about that right now. So just the hyperlink to the district webpage is all I want you guys to focus on that right now. And then I'll show you hyperlinks to other spots in the document later. Okay, creating bookmarks. We are going to do that. So I want you to go down to the bottom here, click right in front of that, and under links, go to bookmark, and then just type in MOS Cert. All one word, MOS Cert, and click add. Now, if I'm up in the document, like say up here, and I'm working around in this, got my cursor there, you can actually see the insertion point right there. But then I want to go back to that link. I can go to links, bookmark, see this MOS Cert one, and then click go to, and it will take me down to that location, and then click close. Okay, so I'm back down here now. So that's creating bookmarks. We just moved to a specific location in an object or document. Another way to move around is once again with the navigation pane, and I can go to different locations and stuff that way. Okay, so those are all different ways to move around. Now, this is all I want you to do with the first one. So I want you to save this. So File, Save As, and you can put it on your desktop because you're going to turn it in as part of your document. And then I want you to rename the file name and put your last name as part of the thing, part of the file name, and then click Save because you'll attach that in later. So that's the first one, okay? And then we're going to go File, Close. Now, the second thing I want you to do is we're going to actually make another template. So New, and we're going to go with, where did it go? Where's one I wanted to do? We're going to go with Student Report with Photo, and we're going to create that. So right here I have a template, okay? So we're going to modify the page setup. So we're going to go to Layout, and this is where I can change all the things. I can change the margin, and these are all the different margins that are right there. Right now it's set up as a custom margin, which means I can go in and edit specifically what I want it to be. I can have it in portrait or landscape. So we're going to switch this one to landscape and see what it does. And we'll leave the top at 1.25, bottom at 1.25. We're going to make the right also 1 and the left 1. And then when we do that, let me make this a little bit different on the screen. So it pushed that down to the next page. That means I've got to resize my image now a little bit. So we're going to not worry about that right now because that's not important for this. We could change the size of the paper we want to use. We can make it more than one column. We already talked about page breaks. We can do some line numbers, which we'll talk about more later, and then hyphenation stuff that we'll talk about later. That was like this hyphenation right here. Okay? So page setup has a lot with it, but we're going to apply document themes now. So I'm going to go to Design and Theme. I'm going to change it to, let's go with Celestial. Okay? That's just kind of changes some of the colors and some of the styles on there. And let's say the colors I want to go with, let's go with paper. All that does is just kind of change the colors of the font and the font styles that are being used. Now, these themes aren't very exciting right now because I don't really have I don't have a background actually on this right now. So it's not going to affect that as much. Whereas if I did have a background or something on it, then it would. But for this right now, I just want you to have it on Celestial. And then the colors, instead of being default, change them to paper. Okay? So style sets, kind of just did that right there. Style sets, we can also change these. Let's go with this last one, Word 2010 for the style set. That's just kind of the way the font's all set up and stuff there. So we've done the theme, which is the general overall theme of it, the color of it, and then the style set of it. Okay? Insert header and footer. So we're going to go to Insert, Header, and we're going to go with a banded header. And in that header, I want you to type in your last name and then dash word practice. Okay, so there's a header. Now, we're going to close the header footer, and we can see that that is on that first page. Okay, we're going to insert a footer now, and we're going to have it be an Austin footer, and we're going to leave it as page number, and I want it to be a different first page. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that just now. There we go, design. So we want it to be a different first page, and then different odd and even pages would be like what you guys see in a book, where sometimes they're always in that other corner. So we'd have page 1, and oh darn it. It means it's just going to show on every other page. So we need more pages. Oh, messed that one up. Okay. So we're going to close there. Header, footer, insert page numbers we just did, format page, background elements. Okay. So design, these are our page background things. Last thing I want you to do is we're going to do a custom watermark. On that custom watermark, I just want you to put in your last name across the middle of it. Leave it as the regular default for everything else. Apply, and then click OK. And then click Close. And then if you look, your name should appear on all of those. Okay. The other things you can change are the page color. Like I could change it to whatever. Let's go ahead and make it olive green. And then we could give it a page border, box border. We're going to leave it as just the regular, so I'm going to click OK there. So that's what you should have. Okay. I know that was real quick, and I'm trying to rush through this a little bit just to get stuff done. So hopefully you were able to follow. If not, email me and I will try to get back to you on that. Have a good night.